bring back the dignity. The experiences of Nigerian worker in the hands of their employers is a subject that is rarely talked about. It is gradually becoming part of unacceptable norms in workplaces. These include government institutions, agencies, foreign company owners, churches, and private-owned businesses. Foreign companies hire local workers as subsidiary staff and hire their country nationals to oversee the Nigerian workers. Simply put, Nigerians are made to serve others in their own country. Abuse in workplaces are common and goes unchecked. Physical, sexual, verbal abuse are all but a common thing in Nigerian workplaces. Nigeria is facing an unprecedented high unemployment rate. Most graduates have no job. Educational institutions kept passing out graduates in high numbers. These graduate students have high hopes of getting employment upon graduation, but hopes are dashed upon the realization that there are no jobs out there. The employers know this. A Nigerian worker also knows this and therefore will endure numerous abuse just to remain on the job. Jobs are also highly competitive as each employee is easily replaceable. Irrespective of the condition and treatment being experienced during the daily job, the employer stays on. Professionals think of another alternative to employment. They seek ways and means of finding work abroad, trying every possible means of leaving Nigeria. That too is appearing to be a hill too hard to climb. But they kept trying, hoping that one day God will answer and bring their misery to an end. What they are not aware of is that most countries are closing their doors to immigration. Even when the doors are opened, it comes down to selection of a few favorites, mostly from trading partners, kind of trade reciprocity. In addition to good record-keeping system, and has maintained good channels of communication, the countries are rewarded by first selection from these countries that maintain high standard of communication and record keeping. The plight of the Nigerian worker seems to double whichever way it turns. Who can serve or help the Nigerian worker, and what can be done? Question becomes, why will the workers not complain about the unfair and unequal treatment being experienced at workplaces? The answer, of course, is fear. Fear of being fired or losing their job. What about the workers' union? The workers' union are made up of workers from same companies and are equally as vulnerable as the workers seeking protection. They are limited in action. Limitations caused by fear of losing their income, so they remain passive to the realities of the workers. The government themselves are not excluded in this ordeal. The government is expected to formulate and implement laws that guide the operation and activities of companies and their employees. They monitor these activities, ensuring that companies abide within the rule and not behave in a manner that jeopardizes the welfare and care of employees. They ensure that standards are met, that companies are held accountable for their actions. But that too is muted as government officials and representatives are bribed with huge monetary gifts. In some cases, visas for them and their family members are guaranteed. They then look the other way. Who then is capable of helping the Nigerian workers to remain safe and to be fully compensated for the worth of their services? None. The Nigerian workers, therefore, continue to work and endure all types of inhumane treatment over the employers. Working in unsafe conditions with no benefit or no compensation should workplace injury occur. Foreign intervention cannot do it either, as outside interference is regarded as foreign incursion. It then comes down to the workers themselves and to Nigerians living both in and outside Nigeria. We all have to brace ourselves and confront this common enemy. Unless Nigerians react to these inhuman treatment, low wages, disrespectful behavior, bias and prejudices, discrimination, racism, hate, and abuse occurring at an alarming rate, Nigeria will gradually be sliding its citizens into the hands of companies who enslave Nigerians because our government and its representatives care less of the activities of these companies. It is very sad to observe that Nigerian workers have been stripped of their pride. This act is not just perpetrated by foreign companies but by Nigerians who find themselves in authority. The subhuman treatment is openly displayed with no fear of repercussion. I am hoping that as an individuals, when we find ourselves in places of authority, rather than using the authority to oppress, let us use the opportunity of power to advance the goodness of humankind. Let us lead by examples. Let us remember that if positions were switched, we might not be happy on the other side. When we demand superiority without regard to dignity of a person, we are helping to promote the unconscious aggression towards our fellow human beings. The churches are not excluded in this. While Jesus washed the feet of his disciples and make it clean, today church leaders ask church members to wash the leader's feet together with his family members. Their behavior to members with less resources is a sharp contrast to the same thing they preached. No wonder Christ himself said, "No man is good." When it comes to the right thing, we need the law and individuals who are ready to enforce the law. In this case, Nigerian workers collectively need to advance their demand by not relenting on their demands. Every opportunity to speak out should not be overlooked. Collectively, those living both inside and outside of Nigeria cannot remain silent either. The louder the voices, the more uncomfortable the hand of oppression becomes. One thing we cannot do is to stop demanding that the right thing be done. Help bring back the dignity in people.